So we are looking at the responsive framework W3.CSS. It has got a beautiful reference below. So for today's class, I will need a table, I will need a form, and you can see I've got input statements and examples of forms here. It's got different aspects for buttons, and I think up here as well it has got input forms. Maybe it's in examples. Maybe reference tables, other containers, card classes, responsive, navigation, input, regular, floating, group, input, modal. Yeah, this example is okay. Which one was it? It gives all most of the elements I need. Yeah, checkbox. So if I click on checkbox, you can see I get an example for an input checkbox. It's good for my website. My website, I want users to come, give me their name, email, and tell me whether they're interested in home loans or car loans, and hit a submit button. Okay, so I'm going to use this example. I'm going to actually save it under responsive web. I'm going to call it W3.CSS form because I find it and then I don't know where to find it again. So these bookmarks are really nice. So I'm going to use the form today for the contact page. I will be using the tables today for the product list page. So I'm just telling you what I'm going to use and I will use it. I'm going to use striped, maybe striped and border, this one. Yeah, this is the table I'm going to use. So I'm going to put this under responsive web W3.CSS table. And I need one more thing. I really need to use some cards. So when I have things like, I could have used it in the about page, but I have a products page, I have a list page, and I have the contact page. In the products page, I will use cards like this, and the header I will say home loan, car loan. So I will use something like this. So you can see this one is got a width of 50%. I usually go 45%, and I'll tell you why. Actually, leave it at 50% so I can tell you why. So suppose I take this card and I make another card next to it. I get two cards. Instead of width 50%, I can also say float left. Cool. I can say float left, and I will say float left to the other guy as well. Float left. Okay. Now it's sticking to each other, right? So I need a margin. When I give this a margin of even 1% or even 1 pixel, if I say 10 pixels and I give a margin just so that it is not sticking to each other, it will fall back down. I get my margin. So that's why, because 50 plus 50 is already 100. There's no place for margin. So that's why I make this 45, 45, so I have some place for margin. Yeah, and that's okay. I can live with a larger border on the right. It's okay. It's not something that I can't live with. But if I'm really fanatic about equal borders, I can put both of these inside another div and center that div. Okay, so there are many ways to do that. But this is another thing that I'm going to use. So I'm going to save this as W3.CSS cards. Now you can put an image there and really go through the examples. See this? Use whatever you want. You want an image with a shadow? It tells you what it's using, what class it's using, you know? And if you go to cards, for example, see? Card 2 has got a 2 pixel shadow. Card 4 has got a 4 pixel shadow. So it has got these styles for you. And just use them. So you can see if I come here, and you can see this is card 2, card 4, card 8. The different examples are there. So you think, yep, this shadow is pretty good, or this shadow is pretty good. I'm not a big fan of shadows. I like this one. Card 2 would be my choice, and that would be the type of card I would use. Hello. Good card. So yeah, yep, that's a kind of card I'll probably use. And colors, I can try amber, I can try teal, because I've looked through the documentation, I remember these. So you can try it. You don't have to make styles. When you're using a library, the whole idea is spend some time, see what's available before you start coding. So first assignment was to introduce you to the coding bit. Second assignment is to introduce you to using libraries. So I've got my material. Let me create my pages. So I'm going to close these. Let me go back to my Dreamweaver. So you guys might remember that last week, under web, W3.CSS learn, last week, this is what I created, okay? I created the home page. So I'm going to open this in Dreamweaver. I always go to manage site and I make sure that I've got the right folder assigned. Yep, done, okay, cool. Yeah, this is troubling me, that thing that it goes small, but I will try and fix that. So that's an icon there, and I should really fix that. It is using the material icons. I can go and look up the reference, material icons reference. So these are the icons here. I'm trying to look for something which will fit for my menu. Something like this, reorder will do. Something like this. And just inspect the icon that's being used. MD icon DP48. Okay, that's what I want. So hopefully I can use that. So I'm going to come here. Right now you can see I'm using a character there, but I'm going to use the class MD icon DP48. Save it and see if it gets fixed. No? Yeah. The problem is if I use a ampersand character, the icon gets disabled. So anyway, I'm going to, if I use text, it comes back. So that's okay, I'll live with menu. And now it's big. Okay, let's create the pages. This is the index page. I need the products page. So for the products page, my plan is to use the card. So I'm going to do file, save as. I already have a products page because I was trying dynamic sites. So I'm going to go and rename that products page to products Angular. I was trying to set up an Angular JS example, but I won't throw too much at you. I won't burden you with Angular JS because it is something that we will look at next semester. So what do? I'm going to create my products page, products.html. Cool. In the products page, in my body, I have my navigation, I have main, which is the header, and then I have the container. Now, inside the container, I will let the row be there. And I have some stuff at the bottom, which was a demonstration I did earlier. So I've got a container with a row. Cool. What do I need? I need one example of a card. So if I come here, not this one, close this one, close this one. It was under CSS, responsive. I need a card. So yeah, this was the card example. So inside the container, they have a container. I already have a container. Oh no, the container is inside the div. So I'm going to take this entire block. This entire block is one card. Okay. And do I need to put it in a row? I can, because if I want to use those divisions, I need it inside a row. I'll keep it clean. No, I'll delete the row for now. I will even delete the container for now. So row and container is gone. I'm just keeping one card, keeping it simple. So I'm keeping it simple. Let's have a look at what it looks like. Okay, that's cool. My footer has gone inside the container. So I'm going to kill this one. Okay, so I've just got my footer outside of that container that I copied. That's my card. I'm going to put a comment here. Cards. I'll just call it product cards. Product cards. It's a comment. Comment is open bracket, exclamation mark, dash dash, and you close it by dash dash, close bracket. Product cards. So I got a header. Keep the header in one line. Looks good. Then I have a container. Inside the container, I have got some content. That's the close of the container. And then that's the close of the card. I can put a comment here so I know what this div tag is. Card closed. And it's good to have these comments at the end because you know which div tag it is closing. The card closed, and this one will be container closed. And okay, cool. There we are. Happy. It's all good. Now, what I mentioned was I need this to be 45%. That's what we tried earlier. So I'm just going to make it 45%. I'm going to float it to the left. And I'm going to give it a margin. Floating to left will make it collapse. As I bring it small, it will automatically come down one below the other. I did something really, really bad. Oh, because I floated it left, the footer has gone and sat next to it. The footer has gone behind it. So, bad idea. I'm going to give it the dividers. I'm going to add a class. So I'm going to look at the responsive grid. I'll go to W3 schools CSS and look at the responsive grid. Examples. I'll go with two. So W3 container, W3 third. What if I do W3 half? W3, if I make this into half and make half, does it work? Okay, so this works for half and half. So that's cool. There is another way of doing this, and apart from half, quarter, thirds, it has another responsive example where it says how many columns it should occupy on a bigger phone, how many columns it should occupy on a smaller phone. So I'm just scrolling up here. Don't feel dizzy. If I go to grid, and this is what I think I'm after, it says occupy 4 columns on a medium screen, 3 columns on a larger screen. So 4 column widths and occupy smaller on a larger screen. So I say column and I have to go medium and large. Let's see. So I'll say W3 column, and I'm going to say on a large screen occupy 6 columns, on a medium screen 1, on a small screen 1. So instead of, I've put 2 of them, and let's have a look at what happens. So now I've got 2 of them. Cool. There is still some color issue. My div tags are my footer. Where is I have a problem with my div tags for sure. Let me get my row in back. Div class equals W3 row. Yeah, so I'm going to get my row back. Okay, now you remember I used margins and padding, but there is some extra stuff in all responsive frameworks. It will come under utilities. So if I just go back here and I look at my reference, it should come with some utilities or some padding or margin classes already pre-built for me. And because that is really the strength. There you go. W3 padding 0, no padding, tiny padding. I can try it. I'll take padding small. Bang. I want padding small. But really, padding is not the problem here. I want the margin. I want a small margin. I'll take the margin. So I want a margin. Adding it to the class. Bang here. Bang here. I got my margin. Bear in mind, I have not added the content yet. Because I've added the margin, it fell apart. No problem. No problem. So on a large, I told it to occupy 6 columns. I'm going to say occupy 5 columns. 5 plus 5 is 10, 2 columns for the margins. There, 2 columns for the margins. That should sort it, yep. Something like that. And I might as well actually make the margin a bit bigger. Oh, it is in pixels? Okay. For let's say 6. Is there some margin which is okay, 64 too big. At least something happened. Okay, so that's okay. After massaging, killing myself, I'm happy with that. So that's one row, and I'm going to have one more row. Okay, so I've got 2 rows of products. There you go. On a small screen, I want it to be okay. It's not collapsing really well. It's not collapsing the way I want it to. So it's fine here, but when I collapse it, I want it to fall below each other. Let me see if it's working for one row. So it's not. It's squeezing up. It's not doing what I want it to do. Time to go back into the reference and find something that does work. Responsive. I don't want the grid. I want responsive. Yeah, this one. See, this one collapses. This is good. See, it comes below. This one is good. So I'll try W3 half. Maybe that'll be my friend. W3 half. Okay, let's go W3 half. Coming back, taking all of this, replacing it with half. Save it. It is still sticking close to each other. I wonder if I can give it a border to kind of not stick to each other. Let me see if the margin two. The moment I add margin, it will have a tendency to collapse because yeah, it has the tendency to collapse. Because it's always half plus half is full and there's no place for the margin. This one is a tricky. Let me see if I can have a border. Is there a border? I'll just go W3. Add a style. Border 2 pixel solid white. Border has the same disease. With border, you have the same disease. Those extra 2 pixels. Oh, okay. It came inside. I can live with this. I can live with this. Awesome. So I'm I'm calling that as my solution. 4 pixels. I get my space, and actually the card doesn't need a shadow. So I'm gonna just say W3 card. So I don't want a shadow there. Yeah, that's cool. And I can call the border. Call the border also blue. I'll make it 1 pixel solid blue. So that might actually work better for me. Yeah. Oh, that wasn't blue. What is it? The container was. Oh, I'll call it 1 pixel solid W3 blue. W3 blue. Will it take it? No. I'll get the exact color. Solid color. I'm going to take the dropper tool and pick this color. Exactly the same. So I get this color. And now this will be what I should be happy with. No. Still want the margin there. See, the margin is not there. Not happy. I'm going to stick with white. I'm going to stick with white. Make it 2 pixels. 2 pixels. Cool. And this container, I'm going to give it a color as well. I'll make it a small light color called W3 hyphen. So I've got amber, I've got black, I've got blue, I've got brown. Do I have gray? And I think I can even get light gray. So let's look at the reference. It's got some really nice colors pre-built. Colors, colors, colors. So yeah, there is a light gray. Cool. Light gray should do it for me. And I hope at the very least you are seeing how I learned. W3C is something I never taught in any class before. This is the first semester I'm actually teaching it. I think it's the easiest. I've taught many frameworks. I really like this framework. I'm using this. I use this for my own site. So really sold on it. So there, I'm happy with this. See, I got my white border, I got my gray, I got my blue. Now I want 4 cards. Let me see if it collapses. Yep, comes below one another. That's what I wanted. It's working. So this is what we have settled with after trying a few things. Okay. Now I'm just going to put the content in here, and I need one more row because I think I have 4 products. I'm not sure. I'll look at save it, check it. My 4 major products which are going to be on my web page. You can put whatever you want on the footer. So let me open up something which I already have here. I called it content.txt. Okay. So let me give it a heading. Here are my products. Go back here to my page, and inside the product cards, I need a heading. My heading is products, my home loan products, best home loans, awesome loans, products. Cool. I should put it in a div tag because you can see how it is sticking. It is just sticking too much to the left. So unless I actually give it a container, it won't behave properly. So you see, when I gave it a container, it sort of went there. In fact, what I might do is I might actually put my entire page inside a container. I bored Travis to death. He can't take it anymore. He just rage quit. Screw you, Dilip. Okay. So container, you see, I did not go and set a margin. I just gave the class container, and container is set to push it aside. So I've got my heading. Now I'm going to get my products. Now this is something I always do. Before I set up to make a website, I get my information. These are my 4 products. My plan is to actually have 4 different colors here. You see this? I want to have 4 different colors here. So I'm going to go to products, and I've got W3 blue, no problem. I'm going to have W3 amber, then I'm going to have W3 pink, then I'm going to have W3, what are my colors? Come on, give me a nice bright color. A nice bright color. Orange, light green, light-green, and the pink one, let's see, we'll change it later. So now, yeah, this is good, nice bright color. See, suddenly your page comes to life. You saw that? Really, just 4 colors. Very important in terms of color coding products. And what I would do if I was actually a designer for the best home loans, even on the brochures, whatever this product I'm going to put here, I would associate it with pink continuously. So if you go to the website, if you go to the brochure and you're looking for home loans, and home loan is associated with lime green, your eye always goes to lime green automatically. So color coding helps you to easily find information, and I would be consistent about it. So let's start putting the content. From the content page, home loans. I'm not giving a thought as to which goes with what color. So home loans, I'm just going to come here. Header is home loans. Yep, that was the first one. And I've got some content here. And I'm going to put the content here. P. So I've just, you can see I've used the examples, I've used the reference, and I'm placing my content. Awesome. Then I come here, car loans. I've just gone around, looked at type of loans banks offer just to make this fictitious page as an example. So hopefully you can do the same. Content is a very important part of a website. And yeah, power car loans, blah, blah, blah. All the lies that banks usually tell. You can be a part of that. And bank. Oh no, that was not the one. That was the, yeah, car loans. And if you want pictures, just look up a card. What kind of style is available? An example in W3S. Car loans, good. Now this is the problem. You see, if my height doesn't match, so usually I would take the largest one and make all of them have a fixed height. So style. So I've given them a border, right? I'm also going to give them a height. Height of 400 pixels. That goes here. No, I'll put the height here. Just to be consistent, I'm just being a bit anal here, but you will see why. Style equals height 400 pixels. 400 too much. 200. 200 is good. So I'm going to give this to all of my boxes. I would make a class and actually just add it. I can call it my box and I can add it to all of them. I'm just being a bit lazy here because I've already copied it and this recording is going a bit long. So I'll stop the recording here, but I'll go and just finish the page off by adding the content and start another recording for the form page and the table page, okay?